Hello Year 11 and welcome to this Takeaway Teacher special edition where we're using this new facility that Mr. Lawrence showed me on Jing, where I can talk to you and also show you the PowerPoint stuff. So we'll see how this goes. I want to talk to you about A star. If you're interested in achieving the A star, let's have a look at that. Let's see the sort of things you have to do. Let's look at some models of A star work. So, as we enter the A star zone, our learning intentions are: what does A star writing to describe look like, and what are the key features? What are the sort of things we need to be thinking about in order to move our work towards A star if that's the level you're working at? How do we make our writing stand out and be distinctive? I have to tell you, A star isn't something that I can just tell you now, this is what you've got to do, you do it, and then that's it. It takes a lot of thought and creativity. A star doesn't come from us, A star comes from you. Okay, but we can help you. We can help you try and get there. Right, if we start with the assessment criteria, this is on the mark scheme from the English Language paper 2, and I'd bring your attention to a couple of so these A star criteria here, where my arrow key is now. To get the A star, they're looking for form, content and style are assuredly matched to purpose and audience. They're distinctive and consistently effective. Maybe I can here we are. Okay, so form, content and style match to purpose and audience. That means you're writing for the right purpose, you're achieving that purpose really well, and you're writing consistently for the right audience. You've also got controlled and sustained crafting with highly effective and delightful vocabulary choices. Now there's a challenge. Crafting your writing means you're really careful about the choices that you make. In the same way that you might look at crafting, you know, a sculpture or something like that. It's about attention to detail, care and success in all the aspects of your writing. It doesn't need to be perfect for an A star, but it needs to be carefully crafted. Right, this is the sort of style criteria, I suppose. The sort of things they're looking for are a strongly personal style, so something unusual, something to make yours stand out, be distinctive. There's the word distinctive as well over here. You know, something that's different about yours, something that's a bit, I hesitate to use the phrase outside the box, but that probably does apply. You might use satire, you might use irony, you might use humour, but it wouldn't be, you wouldn't force it. It would always fit into the writing that you're doing. Demonstrate the ability to integrate a range of complex details. It's got to be detailed, and you've got to show complexity, sophistication. Discursive markers and a range of stylistic techniques. So it's a full range of language devices are integrated into the whole seamlessly. So that means it really kind of flows. You don't get the sense that you're just chucking in a simile because you think you need to. And you may use some inventive structural and or linguistic devices. Okay, well let's try and make some of this oh goodness me, hang on a minute. Let's try and make it make sense. I can say I'm going to have to go to a second video here, but not to worry. The best way to understand this, of course, is to look at some examples. And the example board have very kindly provided us with some. So, here was a sample question from a couple of years ago, 2006, I think. The question was, quite simply, describe a dream world. So this is paper 2. After you've done your other culture stuff, describe a dream world. Now, here's what one student wrote. Now, this got an A star. Almost perfect, but not quite. Got 26 out of 27. They begin. In my dream world, I would not have reached this impasse. The situation I am in would have a solution, as opposed to spiralling out of my control, and I would no longer feel the slow but sure disintegration of every cell in my body. Rather a bleak opening, but you can see straight away it's distinctive. It grabs the attention. It's unusual. And that is a clear indicator of A star content. Well, look, I'm going to clearly we're going to need. Oh, I've dropped the webcam. Oh, no. Right, okay, don't panic, A stars, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to go to a new video. All right, so this will be the first of a series of 2, possibly 3. So I shall click on that video now, and we'll carry on. Okay, here we are again then, back to our A-star piece of writing to describe. Now, where were we? We talked about the opening having this very, very distinctive content, really. It's an interesting idea, good idea. What else have you got then? If we nip back to our, criteria, so you've got distinctive and, well, it turns out to be consistently effective. You've got controlled and sustained crafting. Where is this? Where are these highly effective vocabulary choices? Where's the crafting? Well, I suppose you'd look up here, wouldn't you? In my dream world, I wouldn't have reached this impasse. That's just an effective piece of vocabulary. Don't worry. Don't feel if you don't know what that means, you can't get an A-star. But you have to be ambitious with your vocabulary. The situation I am in would have a solution as opposed to spiralling out of my control. So she's used a piece of imagery. Notice I say she there. Could easily be a boy. Why am I assuming it's a girl? Very bad of me. Looks like a girl's handwriting though, doesn't it, to be fair? In my dream world, I would not have the ability to think, so I could remove the fear that my dissolving body would ultimately kill me. It's a bit bleak. I hope this person's all right. But look at the phrasing. My dissolving body is a really distinctive phrase. It's thoughtful. I'll tell you what this person has done. This person has read a lot. And it's not too late for you to go and read some quality literature if you think you want to get an A-star. If I can't think in my dream world, hopefully I can't feel either. Feel the agonizing pain that pinches at my heart every time my mother looks into my eyes and regrets what I have become. Feel the frustration of not being able to stop what I will undoubtedly become. Feel the anger at the knowledge that my situation is in my control, and yet somehow I don't have the willpower to stop, despite the fact that, in all honesty, I know the only thing I want is for this to end. Wow. Now, what you could say there is that the sentence structure is very long, isn't it? And that could be a problem. If you wrote consistently in very, very long sentence structures, you'd be accused, I suppose, by the examiner of doing run-on sentences, of not controlling your sentence. But this student has got variety. Look, early on, you've got short sentences. There's a control of them because I suppose it fits with the purpose. They're trying to show this despair, this desperation, and long sentences there sort of fit. I'd also bring your attention to this. They've used the semicolon here to separate the long clauses to separate the clauses in a long sentence, and that is effective. That makes it grammatically effective and therefore successful, if a bit bleak. Right. So there's a sample. If you want to look further, I'll put the link to the example material on the bottom of this post on YouTube. Okay. Oh, hang on a minute. Here's a little bit more. In my dream world, I would not be ostracized. Notice here, by the way, they've misspelt ostracized. It should be an A there, not an I. It doesn't have to be perfect for A-star. Okay, so don't worry, don't panic and try and reach perfection. You're much better off trying to reach creativity, a distinctive voice, than thinking A-star's got to be perfect in every single way. It doesn't. People would not whisper in hushed voices when I entered a room. People would not point at me behind my back. See, I'm a bit concerned there. Is that a full stop or a comma? You need to be careful. This person perhaps could do with working a little bit on the accuracy of their sentence structures, but I think they get away with it in this form of writing because there's enough of it that is accurate. Okay. But as I say, I'll put the link on to this underneath this video in YouTube. What you should do now, I think, is to have a look at some sample questions from the past and see if you can apply the same sort of ideas. How can you come up with a distinctive and unusual answer? Describe the view from your bedroom window. Now, a non-distinctive answer would tell the truth, really. Oh, right, I can see my lawn, my shed, my cat. You know, we don't need the truth. Make it up. If the view isn't very exciting, make up a more exciting view. Someone in my class had a really good idea here, you know who you are, of describing the view from outside the bedroom window looking in as a sort of stalker type of writing. Describe the room you're in. Now, I've seen some terrible answers to this where people have literally said, right, there's 50 desks, there's a teacher, there's a load of students, they're doing an exam, there's 110, I don't know, panels on the roof. Don't do that. Put yourself in, you need to be much more distinctive, and that, Year 11, is the challenge for achieving the A-star.